Hey guys, welcome back to Fog Racing here, and today we're going to be previewing the F1 2019 Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Charles Leclerc is fresh off his debut win in Belgium, and he'll be looking to make it 2 out of 2 here in consecutive weekend race wins, but I don't think he's going to have it as easy as he did in Belgium. I mean, Sebastian Vettel surely, will not be 7 tenths off the pace in qualifying, and there's also that chance of rain coming down, and when it rains, obviously we know the Ferrari car doesn't seem to perform, so that would bring Mercedes right back into it. But right, Steve, so what did you think of Belgium, and do you think Leclerc's race win do you think that'll push him on in his career, and will that give him more confidence as we head into Monza?
Well, I thought Belgium was basically your generic alright race. It wasn't great and it wasn't bad. It wasn't boring, it had enough in it. And I think Leclerc, I mean, he's always had the pace, but I think just securing the win obviously helps a lot. You know what I mean? It helps the mentality. Like, if say Hamilton overtook him, he would have been beginning to think, when would the win ever come? Because he got shafted in Bahrain, then in Austria he was kind of unlucky. Then in Germany he crashed it. I'm not saying he would have won that, but anyone could have won Germany who was at the front of the grid, you know what I mean? And they didn't. More or less everyone crashed, and Max held on. But yeah, I think Leclerc's definitely the favourite going into Monza. What do you think?
Well, no, I think Leclerc is the favourite. If he hadn't have won in Belgium, I'd have still had him as favourite going into this race, but obviously with him winning in Belgium, I think that'll just build his confidence, and I think he's even stronger now, and I fancy his chances even more than I would have. As for Vettel, I mean, will he bounce back, or will he have the sort of Massa effect that? Because let's be honest, ever since Massa let Alonso through in the German race, he never seemed to be the same.
Well,
Now,
Massa wasn't a four-time world champ, like it was number one
that's what I was
driver.
just about to point that out there. Obviously Vettel's won the world title 4 times. He's a lot of people would consider him a better driver than Massa, but it's about time he showed it. Like, there's rumours of retirement. He's been shown up by his teammate, even though he's ahead on points. I think we all know that. I mean, if everything was fair in F1, I mean, if pace equaled points over the races we've had so far, the 13 races, I think it's fair to say that Leclerc would be quite a few points ahead of Vettel. I think he'd be at least one race win, probably two. You don't agree with that?
Yeah, but you get some Mongols out there that would turn around and say, "Oh, Vettel's had one of the worst seasons of his career," and people are making out Leclerc's great, and he's still ahead of him. See, those people, right? See, sometimes when you make that analogy, right, sometimes it makes sense. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but F1's different. You know what I mean? Like, reliability, bullshit decisions, and like luck. You know what I mean? Like, Bahrain, Vettel bottled that. That should have been a win. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, Leclerc got shafted, and Vettel should have been there to pick up the pieces, and he wasn't because he fucking spun for about the millionth time.
Balled it in Canada as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
He's just
we
king
can all
ball
say
job.
the penalty was unfair. The penalty was unfair, but at the end of the day, I mean, Vettel doesn't make that mistake. The penalty doesn't get issued, and he wins the race. So,
And at the start of the
you know,
season, how many times did bloody Ferrari order Leclerc to move it the way for Vettel, or vice versa? You know what I mean? To favour Vettel.
well,
In
they wouldn't
Australia,
allow
I mean, they didn't
they
let
wouldn't allow
him.
Leclerc to battle him. I mean, Leclerc would have passed. He was much faster. Didn't allow it. Obviously, in Bahrain, Leclerc had that issue. China, Vettel was behind. They told Leclerc to let him through, and when Vettel got through, there was no pace there. He didn't pull a gap.
Yeah.
It was the exact same thing. He couldn't even break out of the DRS zone. Couldn't break out the 1 second DRS. So there's been quite a few races like that. But I think those days are over. I don't think Ferrari are looking at it as if Vettel's number one and Leclerc's number two. I think going forward, Ferrari's. I think they'll still favour a driver, but it's going to be whatever driver they think is going to give them the best chance of winning races. They're not just going to favour Vettel because he's Vettel. I think they're going to favour, and we seen that to some degree in Belgium.
Yeah.
So is what it is. I mean,
definitely with Kimmy, it was always Vettel. When did they, no? When once did they favour Kimmy? Never. I mean, there's a reason why I only got one win from like what 17 and 18 in both those seasons. Like, it's because they shafted him. You know what I mean?
Especially
That's
18.
it.
I actually thought Kimmy was unlucky to lose his drive in 18. He did very well, but anyway, man, enough about Ferrari, enough about Kimmy. And maybe Kimmy could replace Vettel at the end of the season. That would be something. But I think it's fair to say that both Ferraris are favourites. I'd say Leclerc is obviously odds on. I think he's the massive favourite, and then I think Vettel has to be considered second favourite because I do expect Ferrari to be dominant here. I mean, there's very little turns. It's more or less one long straight, this track. So,
and the turns aren't high downforce. It's kind of just, I mean,
yeah. I mean, you look at the advantage that Ferrari had in Sector 1 in Belgium. The only reason I think it was close is because of Sector 2, but the Sector 2 that's in Belgium, there's nothing like that in Monza. Monza's Sector 2 is like literally 2 turns.
well, I mean, if you look at Monza, you've got the pit straight, then you've got turn 1 and 2, then you've got a massive straight, then you've got the chicane, then the two Lesmos, then you've got another straight, then you've got like another wee chicane, another straight, and back onto the pit straight. So I think Ferrari, if Leclerc had pole by 8 temps in Spa, it realistically should be more.
Could be a second.
Which is weird, like it just shows you that engine power means so much more than chassis in qualifying, but then when you flip it in the race, it's the opposite because they can't run in the engine mode. Like, see if Ferrari fixed the chassis.
Mercedes had it. Remember, Mercedes had the what did they used to call it?
Party mode.
What did Hamilton used to call it? Aye, party mode. Fucking arsehole. You know, it seems to be fair. The Ferrari now that I've got the whole party mode in qualifying.
No, but could you imagine if Ferrari like actually had a good chassis? I mean, I'm not saying they don't have a good chassis, but like near the Red Bull Merc, they'd be winning every race.
Definitely.
But anyway,
right,
there is rain on the horizon.
The rest of the field, I mean,
they need rain.
Rain. I mean, but I'm not going to talk about. I don't think we should look too much into the rain. There was rain forecasted for Belgium. It never came. I think it's a waste of time talking about rain. I mean, if it comes, it comes. Great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Obviously, if rain does come, it weakens Ferrari's chances of winning.
Well, the forecast is rain all Friday, dry Saturday, rain all Sunday. So it would be a Ferrari 1-2. You'd assume going into the race, and you'd expect them to even if it does rain. But Hamilton's the man. So, but Max and all, he'll be starting from the back regardless. So that kind of kills any hope he's got.
I believe the last 10 races have been won between Max. The last 10 wet races have been won between Max and Hamilton.
There hasn't been that many wet races though.
No, I think Max won the last wet race and then Hamilton won the previous 9.
Gee, I mean, it just shows you, like.
So, I mean, but there's no way Max ain't going to win here. You know, the deficit of that Honda engine gives them pretty much no chance, and then the fact they start at the back of the grid. So, I think Hamilton's going to have a chance, even if it doesn't rain. The guy's going to have a chance in the race. Do you know what I mean? If it does rain, then he probably does become favourite. So
yeah, and then
Bottas
is just gonna. He might sneak a podium. God knows how. Like, you know what I mean? He's just.
I don't see it. I think Bottas is getting 4th here.
I know.
I'd be surprised if he. Vettel really is shit. If he loses it to Bottas here.
Albon could even beat Bottas.
I think Albon's starting at the back as well.
Aye. No.
So that takes the Red Bulls out. No.
Sure,
I was impressed by Albon. I was impressed by Albon in his debut. So don't know, but I mean, in terms of best of the rest, who's going to be up here? Probably the Racing Points.
Alpha, I think, a Ferrari engine.
Well, Kimi's Alpha.
Aye.
Although I mean, it would be nice to see Giovinazzi get points in his home race. Should have had points last race, but he bottled it. Hopefully, he fucking makes up for it this time. But yeah, I mean, with that said, not a lot else to talk about in F1 this week. I think Ricardo came out and said he doubts about racing in the Belgian Grand Prix after Hubert's death, which is strange because I mean that's never. I mean the some not to be. I don't mean to be heartless here, but I can't remember his name. But some guy died in the qualifying session before Ayrton Senna died, if I remember correctly.
Bartgang or something.
You know what I mean? And there was no like, oh, let's not race because you know what I mean. They raced then and fucking.
It was
they
25
continued to
years
race
ago.
through
They
things,
were
so
they were they were real men. They got on.
different time, I guess. Vettel also came out and said, "I'd rather F1 be boring and bring Hubert back. Vettel wants safety improvements." Not quite sure what this is. I'm pretty sure was this guy not complaining in Germany about how the rain wasn't even bad and they should be racing?
I mean, see the thing I don't get. What safety improvements could you have made to save him?
Can prevent that? I mean, I don't get it. They've made a lot of safety improvements in F1 over the years. I mean, they've took away refueling to stop fires. They've added in the halo.
No, but if you make the car heavier to protect it from like another car, the other car hitting you still going to be the same weight. You know what I mean? So you can't.
Yep.
And if you make it lighter, then they'll just fucking take off. So there's no way around it. Like they're as safe as they're going to get.
I mean,
it was a 1 in a million incident. I mean,
Vettel needs to understand, right? They're getting maybe not in F2, but I mean in F1 you're getting paid a lot of money. You know what I mean? And if you're a passionate driver, then that's something you should be willing to accept. You know that accidents happen. You're racing in cars that are going like 200 miles an hour. I mean, come on. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be accidents, and F1's a lot safer. I mean, at least you've got a car to protect you. Look at MotoGP. Do you know what I mean? Like people are getting fucking flung overhead and all that shit. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it'd be nice if the guy hadn't have died, but I don't know, man. This wasn't something preventable like the Jules Bianchi thing. Do you know what I mean? This was just like you said, a 1 in a million thing, and there's no safety thing. You know what I mean? You could. The guy, you know what I mean? It's not like you could have stopped the race or yellow flag. I mean, literally, this happened within seconds.
And it happened in a blind spot over the hill. I mean, you don't have fucking a clue what's happening up there. Like,
I mean, nothing you can do about that. But I mean, that's pretty much all the news about. So you obviously just people talking about Hubert, but I mean, it is what it is. Nico Hulkenberg's looking like he might be getting a Haas drive next year. I hope he does. I mean. I think he's solid. I think he's helped Renault. I think he's been a good driver his entire career. Unlucky. Probably should have a couple of podiums. I mean, Perez was getting podiums in the Force India back in the day when Hulkenberg wasn't. But, I mean, overall, if you look at the season, Hulkenberg was, I'm going to say, yeah, he was comfortably outscoring Perez. I mean, he did have the better of Perez, but I don't know. Perez, whether he was good at looking after his tyres or whatnot, Perez was the one getting results. And I think it's just a shame. So hopefully Hulkenberg can get a Haas drive and remain on the grid. But with that said, let's move on to the predictions then for qualifying and the race. We'll give our top 5 qualifiers, and then we'll give our top 10 race winners. So qualifying, I'm going to go Leclerc, Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas, and Sergio Perez. Got a funny feeling the Red Bulls might not run in Q3.
Might not run. Alright. I'm going with Leclerc, Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas, Albon. Max won't run in Q3, but Albon doesn't have penalties, so I don't know what his logic is there. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't Albon run? Because he's pish, maybe like.
Fuck it, if Albon doesn't. I mean, if Albon runs, I still think Perez could beat him, right? I mean, that racing point is good in straights.
Yeah, yes it is.
Driver.
Right, anyway.
As for the race,
top 10? What did you do last time? I can't remember. Top 10. You go! Me go or you?
I'll go one, you go one, right?
Right, well, right.
Leclerc first.
Leclerc, yes, I'm going with that.
Vettel second.
Hamilton.
Right, cool. Hamilton third.
Vettel.
Bottas fourth.
Bottas.
I don't have much faith in Bottas, do we?
Nope.
Albon fifth.
Albon, yes.
Perez sixth.
Kimi.
Kimi seventh.
Max.
Yeah, Max eighth.
Perez.
Ninth, I'm going to go with. Better fucking not let me down here. Lance Stroll.
Sainz.
And the last point, I'm going to give it to him. Second point of his career, Antonio Giovinazzi.
I'll throw Giovinazzi in, home point hero. Even though see if it's lap 53 like and he sticks it in the wall, I'll be knocking on his door. Well, fuck Peter. Who's in charge? Then Peter Sauber? I don't know. He'll be knocking on his door. Keep on knocking on his door.
That guy, he hasn't been in charge for about 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So there's a setup like.
Who's taking this channel seriously? But anyway, guys, that's it, man. Until next time.
Peace.
Enjoy the race. We'll be back for the review. Peace.